Welcome to Cuisine Secrets with Julie. The holidays are a traditional time to bake, enjoy, and gift beautiful cookies. So today we're going to visit with a professional pastry chef who specializes in gorgeous, one-of-a-kind sugar cookies. And she's going to share some of her cookie making and cookie decorating tips with us. We'll be right back.
How can you save time and money when you shop? Get into the habit of buying your store's store brands. You get the same quality as national brands and save at the cash register. No apps, no coupons, just money in your pocket. Give store brands a try and smile your way through the supermarket.
Welcome back. So the tradition of holiday cookies actually dates all the way back to the 1500s, when gingerbread was baked in the shape of people and animals to use as decorations. And it was only made at the holidays because the spices used to make gingerbread, like nutmeg and ginger and black pepper, were considered so precious. Cutout cookies became popular in the 1800s when tinkers would use scraps of tin from repairing kettles and pans in kitchens to make cookie cutters. And the shaped cookies were used by mummers to tell holiday stories. Over the years, cutout cookies have become a true art form. You know, those cookies and cakes that are so elaborately decorated that you almost don't want to eat them. Let's go meet professional pastry chef Jennifer Choy to learn more. We're going to visit her at her innovative baking studio, Sugarsuckle. Her curiosity and baking obsession led to her opening this unique and sweet space, Sugarsuckle. Hi, Jenny. Thank you so much for having us today, and your place is absolutely adorable. We are really excited to learn how to decorate gorgeous cookies like these from you. So you got your start in high-end restaurant kitchens, and we're all really curious how you decided to open Sugarsuckle and specialize in such gorgeous cookies.
Sure, I have a few years of experience in the restaurant industry. I learned so much during that time, but I was bit with the entrepreneurial bug, and I eventually wanted to open something for myself. My friends and family were constantly asking for custom cookies, and lo and behold, now we're making cookies for everyone.
So the technique is called royal icing, right?
Yes.
Can you give us the lay of the land of what you have out here, all your tools, and then just a kind of a quick demo of how we would go about decorating cookies?
Absolutely. So here in the shop, we like to order 3D printed cookie cutters. Sometimes we like to draw out the shape first and have it printed and made. That way there might be a design that we're thinking of and we can't find a pre-made cookie cutter, and that way we can source all different shapes and sizes. We use meringue powder based royal icing. It's a combination of meringue powder and confectioner sugar. We pre-color the icing and we fill these squeeze bottles with them. It's a lot cleaner and you don't have to worry about the icing shooting out of a piping bag. We have a variety of different types of sprinkles in different shapes and colors. When I'm out shopping, let's say Home Goods or Marshalls, I'm always looking out for different sprinkles and unique shapes. I also order them online from different, cookie decoration suppliers. And here I have a couple tools. They look a little surgical, but don't worry, they're used for cookies. We have metal skewers, which we use to spread the icing around. And then we also have tweezers, which help us pick up the little decorations and strategically place them on the cookie.
And get those perfect little patterns, and then that's used for the dragging to get these little patterns?
To create like a marble effect or just to simply spread the icing around.
Cool, very cool.
So Julie, I'm gonna show you how to ice this ugly sweater. So we're gonna start with an outline of the cookie. I just go around and trace the shape of the cookie. This will prevent the icing from running off the side of a cookie. Forms a dam almost. Once I have an outline of the cookie, then we flood the cookie, which means just filling in the cookie with enough icing to cover it. So I don't need to cover every part of the cookie. I'll just take my skewer and help spread it around, because if you add too much icing, it'll start running off the sides of the cookie.
Right. And then it just levels off and creates that nice smooth surface?
Yeah, so I do have to work a little bit quickly here because I don't want the icing to dry while I'm spreading it. If I just give it a little tap, then the icing will settle. So just gave it a little tap and now it's nice and flat. And this is the fun part. Take my pair of tweezers and then I can add some decoration. So for this I added the gingerbread, but maybe for this sweater I'll do maybe some hollies and leaves.
So adorable, I love it. I love that you take inspiration from fashion too, that's so fun. So tell me, where else do you get inspiration for different decor and colors and things for the cookies?
So we're always looking to see what's going on out there. Sometimes I just walk through the greeting card aisle to see what kind of trends there are. For example, we noticed that Christmas isn't always red, green, and white anymore. There's some interesting color palettes we come across, like navy, teal, and gold, or just white, silver, and gold as well. And so we're always inspired by, you know, everything that's out there commercially.
Right. That's excellent, yeah. And I guess I'm just curious, like, do you have a favorite holiday cookie, or do you have a favorite shape, or what's the most popular shape that people are requesting?
Yeah, well, my personal favorite is the gingerbread cookie. So I just love a simple gingerbread. There doesn't need to be a ton of icing on it. I just love all the spices that you taste and the, you know, rich undertone of like the molasses. And our favorite shape to decorate is probably the pajama pant. I mean, the Fair Isle pajama pants are my all-time favorite.
So adorable. I know, and you can get really creative, like you said, with different patterns and with different decorations. So now that you've shown us the basics of flooding and putting little decorations on, can you show us how you get such beautiful effects like that?
Of course. So this is called marbling, and marbling requires two colors. So for example, on this winter hat, I used red and white for some contrast. So I have the two colors ready here, and similar to the sweater cookies, we're going to do an outline of the hat.
So skilled at this. I love watching you do this. It's very therapeutic, by the way, to do this. It's almost like having a coloring book.
And once I have that base ready, then I'm going to take this white and draw horizontal stripes right across. And don't worry about the stripes being super straight. It's all going to be marbled together. So I'm going to take the skewer and drag it all the way up.
Cool.
And then we have this like peppermint marbling effect.
That is beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much. These are totally gorgeous. They're amazing. And I'm curious, I mean, rolling out sugar cookie dough, cutting out sugar cookies is kind of a notoriously tricky one for home cooks to nail. I've had cookies turn into blobs and they just don't come out as pretty as I would like. What would you advise the home chef to do?
Well, I have a couple tips to share. Number one is to really keep your dough at an even thickness. Here at the bakery, we use rolling pins that either have rings that are of a certain thickness, or we have these rolling pins that are already at a certain thickness, so you can't roll it past a 1/4 inch, for example. Another tip is to make sure your dough is very cold before you put it in the oven. Most doughs have butter as the base, and if the butter is too soft, then your cookies end up spreading all over the place. So to ensuring that the butter is cold is really important. And last but not least, when it comes to decorating, you just need to practice. I mean, when I first started sugar cookies, they certainly didn't look like this, but with many years of practicing, they got better and better. So I would just advise to keep practicing. Keep at it.
Keep at it, you guys. Wow, I don't know about you guys, but I am really inspired to make some amazing holiday cookies this year. Thank you so much for having us, Jenny.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So here at Sugar Suckle, Jenny makes more than just gorgeous cookies too. She does bite-sized treats and holiday cakes as well. And one of my personal favorite ways to decorate treats at the holidays is using crushed candy and different holiday flavors just to give it a little bit of flair. A really simple one for you to master at home is a peppermint bark coating. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make my candy cane brownies. They are sure to impress your family and friends. We'll be right back.
Want to enjoy the holiday season? It can be a little easier when you rely on your supermarket store brands for the things you need. Whether it's food or household items, you get the same quality as national brands, but spend less. This can really add up. In fact, a family of 4 can save almost $2,000 a year on their weekly grocery purchases. It's enough money for all of next year's holiday gifts.
I love this brownie recipe. It's kind of my go-to, really easy to put together. And then adding a really pretty peppermint garnish just makes them extra special for the holidays. To get started, we'll preheat our oven to 350 degrees and then coat a 9x13 baking pan with some cooking spray. So our next step, we're gonna melt the chocolate with 2 sticks of butter. You just wanna cut the butter up a little bit first and add it to a bowl set over a pot of simmering water. Then add 8 ounces of chocolate chips. You can use a bowl just like this, glass or metal, over a pot of water if you don't have a double boiler at home. It's a really easy way to melt chocolate. So once your chocolate is completely melted and smooth, we're gonna remove it from the heat and just let it cool a little bit before we add the other ingredients. Now we'll put the rest of our ingredients together for the batter. We have 4 eggs, whisk them together a little bit. Next, a cup of sugar and a cup of brown sugar. We'll whisk those together with the eggs. And a half a teaspoon of table salt. After the salt, you're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a half a teaspoon of peppermint extract. And once you have your batter combined, the sugar is all incorporated with the eggs, we're gonna stir in the cooled melted chocolate that we prepared earlier. Once that's all combined, now we're gonna fold in just 1 cup of flour. Now the important thing when you're adding flour to any batter is to not over mix because you don't want it to get stiff and dry. So we're just gonna lightly fold the flour in to combine. There we go. Now we're gonna put our batter into our prepared pan, like so. Now we bake it for about 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. You wanna make sure to not over bake these so they stay really rich and moist. So now let's test our brownies. Because ovens can vary, it's a good idea to test your brownies maybe at 25 minutes, just in case they're all ready to go. And again, you just put a toothpick in the center, insert it, and as long as it comes out clean, your brownies are done. We're gonna let them cool completely before we finish decorating them. While your brownies are cooling, we'll get the decorations and garnishes ready. First, we're gonna put some peppermint candies in a resealable zippered bag. You're gonna need a half a cup of crushed candy when we're done. So start with a little bit more than that to make sure you have enough. And by the way, this is something that's really fun to get your kids involved in doing. There we go. You want a good mix of different sizes of pieces of candy too, so you get a little delicious crunch on top of your brownie. So now let's decorate our brownies. I've got 2/3 of a cup of white chocolate chips that I melted. You can either melt it over simmering water like I did earlier, or if it's a small amount of chocolate like this, you can just do it in the microwave too for about 30 to 45 seconds. We're just gonna take it and drizzle it in a pretty pattern, or not. As you can imagine, this activity is also really fun to get your kids involved with. And don't worry, if you have any spots with a lot of white chocolate, you can just use your spoon to drag them a little bit like this. Then we're gonna just sprinkle the top with crushed peppermint candies, like this. It's great to have a mix of like pieces of peppermint candy for crunch and chew and extra flavor, but then the powdered sugary parts add a ton of great flavor and like a really pretty festive color on the top as well. Once you're done, you need to let the white chocolate set for a little bit so it hardens so you can cut the brownies up. It'll harden up pretty quickly at room temperature, just sitting on your counter on the kitchen table. And that's it. Look how beautiful these are. They're perfect to bring to a party or make for your party. And I guarantee they're gonna be a hit with kids of all ages this holiday. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our Store Brands USA YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.